This is World Chase Test.
My name's Eric Wolf. I'm on Team APK Blue. So yeah, I do have a unique style. So I think a lot of that, like even talking to some of the other people that were watching us play around as well too, they certainly liked like the creative things that we're doing, the unique stuff that they typically don't see anymore. But a lot of the guys on my team, I haven't actually spent too much time training with. Many of them are up in DC, they know each other. I've mainly just seen them in videos on the internet and whatnot. I've trained with Jesse some, and I know his style. He has some big jumps and long strides, and yesterday he was doing some creative stuff as well too that they hadn't seen before either. So I would definitely like Jesse, or they may like my things as well too.
Eric is definitely the ballerina. He is technical and flowy and just smooth with everything.
Eric is well known in parkour for his creativity and the way that he trains, and it's very, very unique.
One of my favorite areas is like the loading bay and similar areas like that as well. Places with high like evasion quality going on. Very compact areas, a lot of bars, a lot of just like different situations and places for me to go through and dive in and out of. That really plays up to my strengths.
My name's Travis Graves. Just been setting up as best we can with the obstacles in the space that we have, and just basically running through a bunch of chases. And even though the obstacles are obviously very different, some of the just like foundational ideas have really kind of come through and give us a chance to see what sort of things are really important. Things like making sure that you're always aware of where your chaser is. Just the feel of trying to catch your breath, be ready immediately after a chase, things like that. And so while there are some things that, obviously are really unique to the quad and the course, we did have a really good chance to get some feel for it.
It was really interesting to see. It looked way bigger from the videos and things that I've seen. So it was nice to actually get there, see it in person, see how tall things were, and actually be able to put all these ideas I've had in my head kind of to the test. I have a pretty unique, like interesting style. I like to use low lines and go through things, and I didn't know how much of that was gonna be possible, what was gonna be open to me and what wasn't. So it was nice to really get out there and just play with that stuff.
I was really surprised by the mountain because going across that back section, it's really tight down there, especially, I'm not super tall, but I'm on the taller side compared to some of these guys, and like just getting underneath that is really the only way to go. And I really like that they did that. They have some sections that are better for going up and over, and they have some that are more kind of squeezed through, and so it really kind of plays to some people's strengths and other people's strengths. But I had a lot of trouble getting under. I think I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the moment. It's all going to be instinct.
For me personally, it was a lot of just like the open spaces kind of around the border, going just like under the mountain and by the sisters and things like that as well, because I'm not the fastest guy. I'm definitely more of a technical person, so I would try and stay away from those instances. I would try and get to the more compact areas.
I felt really good about the sisters obstacle. I think that one I could move over really, really quickly and easily and naturally from both sides, and I feel like I have a really good handle on that. And unfortunately, it's like kind of more of a transition, but maybe I can find some ways to use it to my advantage.
I like jumping right in the middle of the tilted cube because I have that power and explosion, so I can get out of there quick, whether straight or over the side, so I feel really comfortable up high.
Seren, he is definitely a very unique one on the team. Unlike everybody else here, he doesn't do parkour. He's a professional CrossFit athlete, so he's gonna bring something completely different to the table. Just watching him interact with all of us and just how he chased us, completely different than what anybody's used to out there.
My name is Seren Savanasai. I'm from Washington, DC, and I'm just here to dominate. I did parkour for about a year in middle school when it first became a thing. And I loved it, but then I moved on to other sports, and I played other sports my entire life. I mean, soccer, rugby, football, tennis, track, wrestling, crew, and then I finally found CrossFit and did CrossFit for about 12 years. Stepping into parkour, my gym has a parkour gym attached to it, and so I kind of got to see a lot of what the guys were doing, and it was always kind of interesting, and it was always something I had, been a part of a long time ago, but it was never something I was training, right? And I always, like to jump on things and jump around, but I had no technical training. But, the opportunity presented itself where it was like, how do you want to do? You want to go out there and see what you got on a completely different field, because CrossFit is a sport of cross training, right? It's a sport sport of being as well-rounded as possible, and the sport being prepared for everything, right? And this is part of everything. But the real big challenge is gonna be CrossFit's a linear sport, and we don't have a lot of agility, we don't have a lot of side to side in our sport, but I and my sport background do have a lot of that, right? Bringing that aspect from my life and blending it with CrossFit, and then trying to dominate this field is really where it's gonna, come together and shine through, hopefully.
So Rin is an experiment, and he has been from the moment that we chose him on the team, because he has very, very little parkour experience, but he is probably the most exceptionally strong and fit and powerful athlete that's going to be out there. Again, that extreme of the spectrum is going to be just interesting. I don't know how it's going to work out. I think it's going to be interesting to see, and I think he'll do a really good job.
I think it's both. I think it's definitely an asset in the way that people don't know what to expect. My moves are not going to be as predictable, right? And number two is I don't see the course the same way as a lot of guys, right? You guys, or parkour guys, are really creative, and they have all these techniques, and they have moves, and they flips, and they see it in a more opportunistic way. And for me, I'm just going to be a linear guy, right? I'm just going straight at it. I'm gonna get over this thing as fast as I can and get to as fast as I can. But it's also obviously gonna be a bit of a challenge because I don't have those technical skills, right? So I have to make sure I'm on my A game and not, messing up or taking missteps, right? Because I don't have that muscle memory or that those hours and hours of experience.
Jesse, also extremely dedicated, very, very focused on the speed aspect of the sport. So, he does a lot of training to make himself faster. He's also exceedingly precise, just very, very technical. And I think he's a very, very well-rounded athlete. He's going to do an excellent job.
JB is definitely the flair, right? He has all of the pretty stuff in the flips, and he's definitely going to be a crowd pleaser.
He does a lot of flips. He's very springy, so he's got a different style than most of the other people's on the team.
JB is the guy on the team that I know the least, but from what I've experienced and seen from him so far, he is just super calm, very, very fast, and I think that kind of like low-key aspect to his nature will allow him to, just remain focused. Brother is one of my coaches at the parkour gym. He is extremely disciplined, and I think he's gonna do a really good job on the course.
Yeah, because, they really do go hand in hand with the things that parkour is about, trying to reach something or escape from something. And many times, we're trying to do those things as quickly and efficiently as possible. We're definitely used to trying to find, unique ways getting through places and obstacles and just being in the zone and moving in that moment. So it's very similar when you're out on the course there. You get in that runner state, you get the flow of the zone, and you just kind of go.